I have been informed that my announcement has been deemed disrespectful.
Listen up, Dwayne, you bald fraud!
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the greatest of all time!
Seth Rollins, I'm coming for you, boy. I'm coming hard.
I am a visionary! I am a revolutionary!
The never seen 17!
Look at you now, boy! Ah. Look at you now! 4 letters, 1 word.
Last real champion, John Cena!
What's up, everybody? We're back with another episode of Rasslin with Ron and Mike. We know it's been a minute, but we're back now.
It's been a while since Ryan could talk about a little wrestling.
It's
And it's
been
been a
2
while
weeks.
since Mike could make fun of Ryan's John Cena shirts.
It's been 2 weeks.
Has it been 2 weeks?
Yeah.
It's been a while
We didn't record last week.
since I could make fun of Ryan's John Cena shirts. It's been a while. Okay, enough singing.
Nobody
here.
wants to hear you sing.
Oh, I have golden pipes. You guys just
This ain't American Idol. This ain't The Voice.
They don't matter. People need to hear these golden pipes.
You ain't the voice of the voiceless.
We'll put a poll on there right now. If you want to hear me sing, give me a hell yeah.
Oh God.
Anyways, how
Take
are
a
we
shot
doing,
every
Ryan?
time we hear.
What's going on?
Nothing much, just watching wrestling is always.
We are officially heading in. We're not heading in. We are officially in summer now. Can you
I
believe
know,
that?
crazy how fast
Spring just went by.
It's gone by. It literally felt like WrestleMania was already like almost 2 months ago.
Yeah, it's insane.
It literally felt like it just happened.
Yeah, and
So
here we are,
a
couple months later.
Yeah, it's been moving. It's been a very busy world in the world of professional wrestling all around, not just.
And I would say it's been very mid. The product, as much as there's been
Although
things happening.
I will say Raw was actually a great show last night.
Yeah, but I just feel like in general, when we're talking about like the current product right now, and it's not
as a whole,
in WWE particularly, it just feels very mid, kind of stale.
Also very repetitive.
Also, too, and look, you know how much I like Roman Reigns, but we are recycling the bloodline storyline.
I told you. I was like, they're running back the same story with Jacob that they did with Jay during the pandemic era, where Jay wouldn't acknowledge him, and then it was like, okay, if you lose, you have to acknowledge me. You have to fall in line. That's basically what happened here.
Yeah. I mean, they're basically the bloodline is in full 2022 mode again here in 2026, except without Sami Zayn.
And the thing with Jacob is he started being someone's sidekick, got a solo run, and now he's back to being somebody's sidekick.
Right.
And
I wouldn't be surprised.
Interesting because we saw the MFTs in the crowd, and you hear Roman say he's like, "Oh, it's okay, I still got something for their ass."
I wouldn't be surprised
interesting to see
if they merge the MFTs with the current bloodline as it is,
and just make it one big group, and because Roman's always said the family's better together than it is divided.
I could definitely see that happening for sure. Now, you had mentioned something a couple days ago, which kind of perked my interest about a certain final boss coming back.
And yes, I know I've talked smack about The Rock, and I still do. But in the way I described it to you, you can't tell me that doesn't make perfect sense for the story.
That would be the ultimate payoff to this whole thing if the bloodline, how they're kind of going through. They went through this for these matches with Jacob Fatu, having him acknowledge Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is on his power trip. It would only be right if there's a big payoff at the end where The Rock could come back.
And another interesting thing that I had thought about it, but I didn't tell you about it, is because it was the The Rock's was it his uncle or his grandpa that was the high chief?
The
Vita
Rock's
Maivia,
grandpa,
his
grandfather.
grandpa.
Yeah.
So then The Rock could say this. I'll be like, well, my grandpa was the high chief, and then that went down the line. So if you go down the line, The Rock could be like, that means I'm the high chief.
Well, that's what. No,
And
technically speaking, they've already mentioned that on WWE television. If you go back into when The Rock came back in 2024, that's
the
why.
press conference, yeah, when he revealed the bloodline family tree.
Right. Exactly. And that's why The Rock's hierarchy was higher than Roman's. And that's why Roman, if you remember back in 2024 on a segment on SmackDown, when they're all standing in the ring, Roman asked The Rock one question: "I need you to acknowledge me." Because it was the whole thing was about The Rock, and Roman was kind of like a side character to The Rock. And then Roman asked The Rock to him to acknowledge him. And that's when they're all posing with the ones in the air. If you remember that.
Yeah, no, I do. But there's a part of me is like, oh, what if that's just The Rock playing into Roman's games?
Could have been.
And then I'm saying if The Rock were to come back, The Rock would be like, "Oh, you say you're the tribal chief, you are, but you forgot there's a hierarchy above that.
Now look,
That's the high chief.
yeah.
I'm the high chief."
Right. And that would make sense storyline wise. But look, we're talking about The Rock here. And as much as I love The Rock and I love me
You you
some
know
final
he
boss,
you
that
know
is
he ain't
it is
coming.
pie in the sky for thinking The Rock's gonna come back and wrestle right now. It's not realistic to think that way.
Maybe in Saudi, but I've heard and again, this is just according to reports. Reports are saying Saudi's pushing for The Rock and Roman. That's what they're
Right.
pushing for.
Right.
But if
But
it doesn't happen,
then again,
then it's going to be Femi and
that would
Roman.
be it would be horrible. A horrible mistake for WWE to wait all this time to go into next year's WrestleMania to potentially hype up a Rock Roman match when you have the WrestleMania main event staring at you right here, right now. Not even the WrestleMania main event. I mean, let's look at it. It could be the SummerSlam main event, but it's probably not because Oba's going to be wrestling Brock again. But man, like if it's not the WrestleMania main event, Oba versus Roman, then that match needs to happen sooner than that. But it's possible that Roman and Oba could be the potential WrestleMania main event next
Yeah.
year in Saudi Arabia.
And I feel like if they really want to get there, which I wouldn't be opposed to, and I think people would like it, is Oba would have to win the Royal Rumble.
Right. Or Oba wins King of the Ring.
But
Sorry.
and I
Oh, you're
think
talking about
he
next year's WrestleMania. Sorry. I
yeah.
got side
But
I got a
but
little
but
ahead of
speak
me. I got a little ahead of me.
but speaking of King of the Ring, I think Oba should win. But now that I think about it, I don't think he's going to. Wanna know why?
Right.
Because
Why?
him and Brock won.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think
And
Oba's
I
the
think
projected
Brock's gonna
winner.
cost Oba.
Right.
We get the third match at Night of Champions,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and then
Although
it.
look at WWE is heading into the summer now. We can get into more storyline specifics in a little bit, but talking about the King of the Ring here, they haven't mentioned that the winners of the King and Queen of the Ring are going to get title shots at at SummerSlam.
Yes, they did. They actually did
Oh, they did
on
on
Raw.
Raw.
Yeah, on Raw they said the winners get world title opportunities at
Okay,
SummerSlam.
because when they announced it on SmackDown, they hadn't made that clear.
Yeah, yeah. No, they announced it on Raw. So
Okay.
I don't blame you for missing it. But watched I finished watching Raw this morning because I couldn't watch it live. But they did say the winners of King Queen of the Ring get world title opportunities at SummerSlam.
Got you. Okay. It could be possible, and hear me out on this. SummerSlam is a 2-night event this year in Minneapolis. Night one, main event, Oba versus Brock. Oba gets to win. Night two, main event, Oba versus Roman.
I honestly I could see Oba pulling double duty.
Yeah, I could too. The kind of like the coronation of this guy. Man, if you that would be the ultimate skyrocketing of this guy.
Just
Ultimate
imagine
crowning
in back-to-back nights, he retires Brock
Brock Lesnar. Yeah.
and
Yep.
beats Roman. Because if the smart choice would be for Oba to go over on not just Brock but also on Roman.
that would be the ultimate quest if he could do that. Man, God, that would be insane if they were to pull that off.
But the thing is, I don't trust the booking.
Yeah, again, the booking is always suspect in WWE. You can never
Although
trust it.
I do like that. Even I know Oba lost. I like they still made him look strong in defeat, and then I love how they had him look in the Fatal 4-Way. It's like
Yeah,
boom. It's like you couldn't even tell that that man lost the night before.
right.
So I
Exactly.
do love that. Like, yeah, he may have lost to Brock, but they still made him look strong even in defeat, and then going on to win. Well, it was actually I don't know if you finished watching Raw, but the Fatal 4-Way for the men's was oh my gosh, that match was exciting.
I didn't finish watching it.
Yeah, no, that match was oh yeah, because you had Oba, Solo, Penta, and Carmelo Hayes,
Hmm.
and the crowd was into it. Like, yeah, no, it was a great Raw. The both Fatal 4 matches are great, but especially the men. The
I feel
men
like
were like,
when Raw's at like before 2 o'clock, I feel like they always kind of pay off a little bit.
I know I've noticed the international Raw seem to be like really good shows.
Right. Yeah.
'Cause I remember when they were in like Brussels and like London, it's like, oh, they actually were like pretty solid shows.
Even when they were in Scotland or not Scotland, Finn Balor's hometown. Where was it? Scotland or was it where's he from? Um when they're in Finn Balor's hometown, even that was a good Raw.
Ireland.
Ireland. Yeah.
Forget where in Ireland, but
Yeah. But that was even a good Raw. Yeah, they kind of
yeah. And speaking of Finn Balor, we found out, well, it was during commercial break, but I found out through Twitter, Finn Balor was traded to SmackDown.
look, if it gets him more TV time and it gets him, a fresh set of challengers as a babyface, then why not?
And especially it gets him away from the Judgment Day, which is what I think he
Exactly.
needs.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
but it's also interesting because guess who was on SmackDown? His
Who?
old Judgment Day
Right.
friends, Rhea and
Yep.
Damian Priest. So it'll be interesting to see if they have any sort of interaction
Right.
on SmackDown.
And look at they could team together. I can't see them reforming any Judgment Day.
No, I'm not saying they're going to reform a faction, but it maybe if like be like, hey, we need to team up.
Yeah.
And plus,
Exactly.
mommy tweeted, she says that she never forgets.
Exactly. And so look at the Judgment Day on Raw. That's a dead group.
It's a dead. And what have I been saying? I'm saying Roxanne needs to either or leave because I don't think it's helping her.
Right. It's not.
The only person that's really helping is JD because without the Judgment Day, JD probably wouldn't be getting any TV time.
Yeah. Very true. Very true. It's a dead group.
It
Obviously,
has helped Raquel. I will say that it's helped Raquel Rodriguez too.
oh, for sure. Out
But
of
because
anyone still benefiting from it
she's improved so
so much.
much
I
since
mean,
she came back.
she's been through the ringer of her health.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And
Yeah.
then I remember Kevin Nash made comments about her, and she took those personal,
Yeah.
like Michael Jordan. I took that personally,
Exactly.
and
Yeah.
she's been great. She's been doing some of the best work of her career. Um, so and then another thing, say talk about the Queen of the Ring tournament. I'm not a fan of Liv Morgan being in it.
Okay. Yeah. So mentioning that, we can get through the brackets here in a little bit, but why like, is it just a need that they?
Her explanation was that she wants all the gold,
Hmm,
which in my
right.
opinion that's lazy booking, and they
It is
probably just
lazy
told it be like
booking.
Liv, just tell them that but it's also like you're a heel, you're a champion, just tell them it's because I want the other title
Right.
also. But what I
Exactly.
think should happen, because I think it would be great because it's Fatal 4-Way. This is where I could see Stephanie Vaquer coming back and costing her
Oh
match,
yeah.
and then at Night of Champions we see Liv and Stephanie again.
Right. Exactly.
That's where I think this is heading, which is smart because in my opinion, it's like why do you have the women's world champion in where literally the winner gets an opportunity at the world champion?
Right. Exactly.
So, and
Yeah.
another interesting thing, I know Roxanne lost, where Kelly Rodriguez still has her match. So what would be really cool is if Liv were to advance and then Raquel advances, if the two had to face each other.
Right. Right.
That that would be interesting to me, but I
Exactly.
don't see him going that way because I think this is where we see Stephanie Vaquer return.
Right. So let's talk about the brackets a little bit. So on Monday, you're right. The Fatal Four Way match you had Hayes, Sokoa, Femi, and Penta. Femi won. On the other side of that, well, you have three more Fatal Four Ways on the men's side here. You have Dominic Mysterio versus Braun Breaker um versus Damian Priest versus Trick Williams, and then on the other side of that, you have Seth Rollins versus Javon Evans versus Tonga, then Ricky Saints, and
Wait,
then
and that one is
that's a
interesting.
smack.
I'll let you
Yeah,
finish first, and I'll go back to
yeah.
it.
And the last fatal four way is Jey Uso versus LA Knight versus Royce Keys and Finn Balor. So I think the on that side, the last two I just mentioned, they might be SmackDown fatal four ways.
Yeah, but no, what's interesting is going back is WWE apparently posted another bracket with Drew and Sammy in it,
Oh,
and then they reverted back to the one you just mentioned.
okay. So yeah, who
So I
knows?
don't know if that was an error on their part,
Maybe.
or if it's like, or it's like maybe that was the original list and then they switched it and
Right.
they just forgot. But I thought that was interesting, especially because we
Right.
haven't seen Drew since WrestleMania. It's gonna be like, wait, so Drew's coming back and you just gonna throw him in a fatal four way
Exactly.
like with
So,
no real story?
right.
Because as I mentioned, I think in last podcast. I think when Drew returns, I think Drew should come back as a babyface
Oh yeah, no doubt.
because I think he's done all he can as a heel right now.
Right.
He's done some of his best work over the last couple years as a heel, especially his feud with Punk, which was like feud of the year in 2024
Right. It
or
has.
2020.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 2024, right? Yeah.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was like feud of the year. That was probably the best work in Drew's entire career.
I mean, we haven't seen a feud like that since then.
Pretty much
Uh,
since then,
Yeah.
yeah. That was a feud worthy of ending in Hell in a Cell, and boy, they gave us
Right.
one of the greatest, if not arguably the greatest Hell in a Cell match ever.
Right. Right. Yeah, so I agree. Drew McIntyre should come back as a babyface, and it would be, really wise for them to, like, look, you need a big besides Cody Rhodes, you need another big babyface on
And
SmackDown as
this is
well.
this where I think it'd be interesting is you either have Randy win it
Right.
or Gunther win it, and then Drew goes after Randy or Gunther
Who
because
knows?
they're
Well,
both
who knows if
heels.
Randy Orton's cleared because he's been out since WrestleMania.
Yeah. I mean, he addressed it on X, but I don't know if that's just him like just trying to stay in character
Right.
or not because he said he's like, "Oh, quit." He said he's like, "Oh, you guys just." He's like, "Oh, you guys are milking this
Right. Right.
expletive.
Well,
I'm just trying to enjoy my vacation with family before I come back and take number 15."
yeah.
So I
Well,
don't know if that's just him staying in character or if like he really is hurt because there were reports saying that his back was legitimately hurt.
and I believe so.
Wait,
He's
and I believe it. 'Cause, I mean,
notoriously been,
the man
his
had
back has been
the man had fusion surgery, and the back is no joke. That's not an easy injury to come back from.
exactly. So I did want to get your opinion on the Fatal Four Ways. Um, so on this one, Dominic Mysterio versus Braun Breaker versus Trick versus Damien. I see Braun Breaker winning this one.
Yeah, I think Braun Breaker comes out of this because they still want to book him to
Yeah,
look strong. Even though I know
exactly.
he just lost to Seth, but he looked very strong.
Very. Yeah.
So I will say this. Braun's best matches since he's come back have both three of them have been this year. Punk
Right.
and the two with Seth. So
Yeah.
Punk, I gotta give a lot of credit to Punk and Seth because I don't know what is about them, but they really brought out the best in Braun Breaker.
Speaking of Punk and sorry, Rollins and Breaker, they're heading towards a rubber match as well. And so, when is that possibly? Are they going to hold off until SummerSlam?
It's possible they could be the two in the King of the Ring final
True. Yeah, very true.
if it's not
Exactly.
Oba Femi.
Right. Yeah. On the other side, you have Rollins versus Javon Evans versus Tamatanga versus Ricky Saints.
I think we all
Seth
know Seth's
Rollins.
coming out of that
Yeah.
one.
If not, Javon Evans, but that's my dark horse right there.
That's a dark horse, yeah.
Yeah.
Because
And then
they want to even it out, and so that's where I could see. Cause I know Oba's a babyface, and that's why I could see being like, oh, babyface just walk out maybe two, and then two heels. That way it like evens out.
Right. Right.
But I know with the tournaments, I don't really think they really consider like who's babyface and who's heel.
Right.
But I just
Um.
think in terms of booking, I was like, oh, I think it kind of if they want to make it make sense, to kind of even it out.
Right. So the last one, Jey Uso versus LA Knight versus Royce Keys versus Finn Balor. That's a
This
tough
one's a
one
this one's a toss up actually.
because I could see them giving it to Jey Uso because again, the entrance and all that.
But I could
Um,
also see them giving it to LA Knight because
he needs a big win.
the story he has with Roman.
Also, Royce Keys
Yeah.
or even Finn
This,
Balor.
this,
I mean,
this-
look, Finn
I think
Balor's.
I think in my opinion that I want Finn to come out of that match,
Yeah.
but I don't know if he will.
Look, they all have potential.
That out of all the fatal four ways, this is the most like unpredictable one because it
Right.
literally could be any of those four.
Could be. Um,
Where like the other one just it's like okay, it's gonna be that, but like we said, it's like oh Seth, and the other one Braun. It's like boom,
right.
like without hesitating. And then this one we're both like it could be any four, it could be any of them.
Gun to head, I'm gonna say LA Knight because he needs it. He just needs it.
I
He's
do
desperate
think
for a
I
win.
think LA Knight needs the push.
Yeah,
Um, because
exactly.
I mean if they're gonna do anything with them, they gotta do it now. They
Right.
gotta do it now.
On the women's side, you have Liv Morgan versus Becky Lynch versus Alexa Bliss versus Chelsea Green. That's an interesting one.
You know who I want.
I know who you want.
You know who I want, but who I think is gonna come out of it is Becky.
Yeah, Becky. Well, she's the Intercontinental Champion. So,
No, she's not. Soruka
oh,
is.
sorry, Soul. Yes, you're right. You're right.
And
Soul is.
and that what I'm saying is
So
I think now Becky's gonna move back into
true.
the world title picture.
True. Yeah.
And I feel like
Um,
I feel like this is kind of a step in that
I'm
direction to
I'm
kind of
gonna
put it
go.
back in that.
I'm gonna go dark horse here. I'm gonna say Chelsea Green.
I don't disagree with you. I do not disagree with you there.
Yeah, I think they want to give her a push going into the summer.
Especially now that
Yeah,
she's a baby face now, and
right,
we've never had a baby face Chelsea Green in WWE. She's been
right.
a heel her entire time in WWE.
Yep,
And most of her career, because I looked up her profile, she's been a heel most of her career.
right,
So it'll be interesting to see how her booking goes with her being a babyface now.
right. Um, on Raw, you had Io Sky defeat Roxanne, uh, Julia, and then Last Legend. How was that
Which
match?
I think was the smart choice. I think Io was
Yeah,
the smart choice.
right. It's Io Sky.
Yeah,
Um,
because in my opinion, I think we've both agreed. Io Sky is the best women's wrestler on that roster.
exactly. One of the other fatal four ways for the women is Sol Ruka versus Lyra versus Charlotte versus Jade. Interesting.
This, hmm, I could see it be Charlotte because she's the queen and
Yeah,
she hasn't won
yeah,
Queen of the Ring.
yeah.
But also, I don't see it being that because I think we're getting Jade Cargill versus Charlotte Flair. So I could see the two of them like screwing each other up.
True.
And so I think Sol Ruka comes out of this.
She just won. I don't think they're going to give her back-to-back wins like that. I think Charlotte's the queen here, and Queen of the Ring fits her. I'm going to say Charlotte Flair. Last fatal four-way for the women: Bailey versus Raquel uh versus let's see here versus James and Jane. Why am
JC
I
Jane
forgetting
and
JC
Kiana
James?
James.
Yes. Okay.
JC Jane, Kiana
Kiana
James.
James.
No, yeah,
I'm like, wait, I
yeah,
was
because they
forgetting
did the last
yeah,
names. No,
yeah,
it's fine. Yeah, because they
yeah,
did the last names.
yeah. Exactly.
So you're just like Jane James, like who dad? And then you're like, oh, JC Jane and Kiana
JC
James.
and all the internet marks are gonna come at me because I don't recognize their names really quickly. Gosh, give me a break here.
It's
Um,
probably Bailey.
yeah, Bailey. Oh, I mean, look, I think it comes down to Bailey or Raquel.
Bailey or Raquel.
But I say Bailey because she's the bigger star
Yeah.
here. Yep,
Dark horse. My dark horse is JC Jane just because it looks like they're giving her a strong push.
yep.
So that she's my JC Jane's my dark horse.
Okay.
But I'm with you. I think it's Bailey or
Yeah,
Raquel.
exactly. And then we'll find out, who wins these matches, and then goes on to the finals here for the king and
Yeah.
queen of the ring.
Because whoever wins these, then the next matches is one on one.
Right. Exactly.
So I know people aren't a fan of the multi-man qualifying matches and they want a one-on-one. I was like, I'm honestly for it because I thought
Yeah.
it's a chance to showcase more of the talent.
Right.
And like I said, I thought the men's fatal four was excellent. That match was fun.
Right. Um, Switching gears here. Did you watch AAA? The
I didn't watch the
Americanos?
whole thing. I didn't see like the entire match, but I saw like
Oh,
90% of
you
mask
need
versus
you need to do
mask.
yourselves. Okay, I'm gonna set
No, that
the
match,
stage for
from
you
what
here.
I saw, oh, that match was great. My only gripe was, which some people might get on me, but I thought there was way too many kickouts and interferences.
But this is what I think this is exactly what professional wrestling is all about here. Yes, it was super gimmicky. Up our asses it was gimmicky.
But
Obviously, it's hokey to have a was it like a German wrestler play a Mexican icon and
it's
an
basically an
American
American
wrestler.
cos. It's basically an American and a German
But
cosplaying as
that was the
Mexicans.
fun of everything. And my God, you could see the audience soaking every bit of it in,
And I
especially.
think it worked out better that they did this match here and not at WrestleMania.
Oh my God, if it was at WrestleMania, it would have been 5 minutes.
It
And
would have been 5 minutes and we would have barely seen anything and there probably wouldn't have really been a reaction.
no, it wouldn't have. And this, it worked out so perfectly. Thank God the match happened because of what happened with Ludwig Kaiser getting arrested for assaulting somebody in an elevator after making out with his girlfriend. Apparently, the guy that got assaulted said, "Please have some manners, sir."
Yeah. And guess who bailed him out?
Was
Gunther.
yeah, Gunther.
Which
Um,
which goes to show you, nice guy Gunther. But that
nice
also
guy.
goes to show you, like, hey, they're not just good friends in WWE outside the ring. So I know I've
But
talked a lot of smack about Gunther, but I'll give respect to Gunther there for being a good guy.
so this is the frustrating part when you watch, and I've mentioned this before, when WWE does so well at something, and you look at like how much effort and like how much went into this collaboration and putting together this main event for AAA Mexico and the packages they put together
You
and
know,
the
and
enjoyment that everybody has, and
you
then
know
you
what I
watch
found out?
Smack. Hold on, and then you watch SmackDown, and it's like, why is there such a night and day difference between SmackDown and Raw, and then what you have in this main event here for AAA Mexico, which is like, my God, like this is like what professional wrestling is all about. And then you watch SmackDown, it's like, I just want to turn the TV off.
Yeah, and you know what I found out today? Guess who produced that mask versus mask match?
Oh, who?
Pete Dunne.
Oh, wow. See, but okay, hold on. Pete Dunne. Pete Dunne's been involved in this as one of the Americanos.
I think he's Rio or Bravo. He's one of the two, whichever one
But
it is. But
like
yeah,
the involvement, the collaboration, it's just night and day from what you see on regular WWE programming. Kudos to everyone involved in putting together this fantastic main event, and not only best match of Chad Gable's career, best match of Ludwig Kaiser's career.
yes.
The
And I know
like,
people will be like, "Oh, it's El Grande."
no,
We all know it's Ludwig.
well,
We're not stupid.
nobody needs to debate that. That was
We're
a part
not
of all the
stupid.
gimmick.
Yeah, we all know who it was.
Well, if you're
But
still guessing, I think you've been dropped on your head a couple more
yeah,
times.
but another thing I have to say too is we did see Chad Gable on Raw, and El
Right.
Grande Americano was on during the commercial.
Right. Well, look, I just hope that they utilize Chad Gable effectively coming out of this. I look at, like you said before, I don't trust the creative staff in
And
terms
he's
of,
not getting any younger. The man is 40 years old.
and he just had the best match of his career, and I hope they can ride the wave of momentum that he's been carrying. My God, the guy's in tremendous shape, and just had so much success with this. Like, you need to be able to capitalize. And to Ludwig Kaiser, like he's gonna go on, he's gonna challenge Dominic Mysterio for that championship, the
At
AAA.
Triple H.
Yeah. So,
And one thing about Ludwig, he's never wrestling as Ludwig Kaiser ever again.
oh no, he doesn't need to. This is him. Americano is him. El Grande Americano is. I mean, look at the entrance that they had for this guy. The involvement with like the people. I mean, they've really taken to this guy, and he is involved it to something that is much like they had no idea how big this was going to be. He was thrown into this thing because they had no plans for him.
And remember, this whole thing started off as a joke.
It was a joke, but it's not a joke anymore. And
From the very beginning, we all knew it was Chad Gable. Like it was just like the
well, of
moment
course,
he
right.
touched
And I
foot.
mean, look at that. That was a part of the gimmick, but
Yeah,
that was the fun of everything, right? And then like even having the announcers like be like, it's Chad Gable. Like that's the fun of it. Like to be
no,
like
it's funny because
shocked.
Michael Cole said it's Chad Gable, and Corey Graves is like, no, it's not. And then Corey Graves after the match, he's like, I have to apologize to you, Michael. You were right. It was Chad Gable.
Right, right. So again, kudos to everything. And this is kind of what makes me want to go into what AEW is doing. AEW is obviously the hotter product right now. People are coming off they're coming off of Double or Nothing, with a lot of momentum with MJF back as AEW World Champion, and he's going to be defending that championship all throughout the summer. But I feel like with AEW and WWE, they need something big for the summer here. They really just do. AW is doing fine, and they need, they're going to be heading into their biggest show of the
Yeah,
year,
and,
all in.
and
And they're going to have a lot of great success with that pay per view too. But like let them capitalize off of what they're doing still, and let WWE. Let's pray that WWE has a good summer.
yeah, speaking of AEW, this is not to like nag on them. It's because it's really WWE as well. How you say WWE is like inconsistent, which they are, but AEW also is. They have like great pay-per-views, and then their weekly shows are like not
But
that
but
great.
at least AEW's pay per views capitalize. You can't say the same about Backlash. You could not
Yeah,
say the same about Elimination Chamber this
yeah.
year
I mean, like
or
WWE, like
WrestleMania this year.
of course, on their PLEs, like there's highlights from it.
Right.
Like look at Punk Roman, like, oh my gosh, that match was amazing.
Yeah. Beautiful match. But I'll tell you this much. You know how in the past you said that AEW doesn't know how to do storylines? I
I
think
mean,
it's flipped now. I think WWE doesn't know how to do storylines, and AEW is the one that's capitalizing here. You look at what they've done, with the Darby Allin storyline and in the main event there with MJF. Like that was long-term booking right there.
they will still forever be the little brother though.
Oh my gosh.
They
You can
you
never give
can't
them
tell me that
props.
they're never not going to be always going to be the little brother.
Dude, if people
You can
continue to
yes,
flock to
yes,
them,
AEW has a better product right now, but they're not bigger than
oh, I'm gonna
WWE and
put
they
that in
never
the
will be.
I'm
They
gonna
never
put
will
that.
be.
Oh my gosh. That dude, just you got to give AEW credit for what they
I just
are.
did. I just said yes, they're the better product right now, but they're still not bigger than WWE as a
Of course,
whole.
they're not making as much money as WWE. They're probably will never make as much money as
Yeah, but I
WWE.
just
But
gave them credit. I said yes, right now, yeah, they do have the better product right now. Yeah.
no.
Double or Nothing so far is the pay-per-view of the year so far.
Yeah, match of the
But
year,
I'm saying so
the
match of the year,
Americanos.
there's a few.
It's the Americanos, man. Can't tell me it's
Yes,
not
it you could argue Punk Roman
Punk Roman. Yeah, that's a good second.
because that was I mean not just because it was rated 5 stars, but that what really was a beautiful main event.
If my God, I don't know if Dave Meltzer has put a rating out for the Americanos, but if it's anything less than 5 stars,
Apparently it's in the top 10 on what's that site? The site that has like CageNet or whatever it is.
yeah.
Is apparently the Americanos is like top 10
Oh wow.
for matches like all time.
Oh wow. See, that's what, like I said, that's what professional wrestling is all about. But
And it's one of those things like I wish WWE is like, look how great that turned out. Why can't they do that like more?
exactly, and that's the frustrating part.
And especially because it's like it's mostly the same people booking that. It's literally the almost the exact same people, maybe a few different people.
Right.
Like we know
Exactly.
Undertaker's in charge of AAA.
Yeah.
Who would have thought the Undertaker
Who would
would be
think
leading
that
the charge?
the Undertaker might get Booker of the Year this year?
Yeah, and that's why like I'm not saying he needs to take over as the head, but it's like, hey, at least let Undertaker
Oh
have
well,
input on the main roster.
well, look at it. It's the same thing when Triple H was in charge of NXT. Triple H was very successful with NXT. Why? Because it was a product that was not the main focus. When you're talking about
Yes,
Raw and SmackDown, all the focus is on there, and you have all the advertisements, you have all this and that, and you need to be able to fit all that in there. And that's why
Yeah.
sometimes the shows are really bad.
And then when it came to NXT, it's like it was his show. Like he didn't really have to answer to anybody aside from like
Right.
Vince. But aside from that, it was like he called all the shots. Where
Right.
on the main roster, it's like he doesn't call the shots really.
Right. Exactly.
Which I think that's the major difference because I'm not saying Triple H is a terrible booker because I don't think he is. I think it's just because of the situation he's in, and he unfortunately he's the one that takes the he's the one taking the hit.
Right. Yeah, no, you're right about that.
But I
You're right
don't but
about
I
that.
don't think he's a terrible booker. I think he as bad as WWE has been since like most of last year and this year, it's still better than what we had in like 2019
Oh
by
my
far.
gosh. Yeah. It
So
was
yes,
totally unwatchable
yes,
back
people
then.
can say, "Oh, this is bad." I was like, "Yeah, but it's not as bad as 2019."
It was totally unwatchable back then. Totally.
Yeah, so that's one thing. Like, yes, they're bad, but it's like you still got a Triple H credit. It's like, hey, even Triple H's worst is still better than Vince's worst.
Exactly. Exactly. But all right. Any last words for wrapping up this podcast? Look at, AEW, WWE. Look at they're kind of apples and oranges right now. I hope WWE can have a successful summer. I hope AEW can just maintain the, momentum that they have, and it's a big summer in general for wrestling.
And one thing that I mean, not to dissuade the um Night of Champions in Saudi. I think Night of Champions could be good, but with this being the second ever two-night SummerSlam, I hope because I'll admit I think you can agree with this. SummerSlam was one of WWE's better PLEs in 2025.
Yeah, it was.
Across the board, night one was great, and night two was great. You had some matches that were like meh, but then
Right.
look, you had two solid main events on each night, Punk
Right.
and Gunther, solid, and then
Right.
you had the Ruse of the Century, and then Cena Cody,
Right.
like
Yeah. That was yeah.
so that again, I'm not gonna get like my hopes up because again, if you put your hopes too high and they don't meet
Right.
your expectations, then it's like that's when you're like, oh well, it was really bad. It's like, no, it's because I put my expectations too high.
Yeah.
But I think the key for WWE to have a good summer is they just need to be more consistent with their stories, and they just need to start utilizing some of their other talent. And because like a lot of the current stories, like we just said with the Bloodline, it's basically like just copy and pasted from a few years ago.
It is. Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
so I'm kind of hoping the Bloodline. I'm hoping something big happens with the Bloodline. Otherwise, it's like it's just going to be the same thing every week.
And obviously, it's like I said at the beginning of the podcast, it's pie in the sky to think The Rock is going to be involved. But I mean,
But
like I
it
said,
would
WWE needs something big with
really
this.
it would help the overall story,
It would, but I love my final boss, but
especially if they do it where The Rock takes all of them and basically Roman's all alone, and The Rock is like, "You're out of the family."
well, I don't know. We'll see. Um, but yeah, I want to thank you guys for tuning into tonight's podcast. Again, you can find us on all of our social medias at
Well,
laceemupsports.com. Not dot .com,
well,
but Lace 'em Up
well, be,
Sports.
well. Before we end, I because I know I said some of my keys. I don't know if you said it. For you, just quick thoughts. What do you think WWE needs to do to have a successful summer?
I think that's going to be up to the creative. I think look, they need to capitalize off this bloodline because it's something that we've seen before. It just seems like it's rinse repeat, and so they need to figure out how we can capitalize off this bloodline storyline without it being the same old thing, and or it just being like, I mean, Oba beating Roman would be big, but like you need something big to wrap this whole thing around. And so I don't know what the plan is going into SummerSlam. Like I had mentioned before, if it's really just the coronation of Obafemi, or if we want to just take this bloodline storyline into a different direction, we'll see.
And then, of course, there's a possibility that we could get Seth and Roman at SummerSlam for the title.
We'll see. Yeah,
That's a
exactly.
possibility as well. Do I want
I
to
think
see it?
that's less likely.
Do I want to see it? I was like, I mean, I think it'd be a
No,
great match, but again, it's
uh,
like we've seen it
I,
before.
I don't, I don't,
We've
I don't
seen it
agree there.
before.
I don't agree. Why would anybody want to see that?
No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm like, I'm saying like as a fan, like I know it would be like a good match,
Yeah, but
but
we've seen
I'm
that
also
countless
saying
times
we've seen
already.
it before. I want something new.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
want something fresh. That's why I'm saying, and
Yeah,
it's because we've also been saying WWE struggled to build new stars. What better way to build up Oba Femi than like you says, have him beat Brock and Roman?
true, true,
That's how you build a star.
exactly. But all right, we're gonna end the podcast now. All right, guys, thank you again for tuning in. I want to thank you guys again. You can find us on all of our social medias at Lace 'em Up Sports, on Instagram, on X, on TikTok. Just released the LA Sports Roundup. The Dodgerization of the Lakers. Talking about the Jared Verse trade. I was going to call it the Jared Goff trade. The Jared Verse trade. Uh,
Another Jared trade for the Rams.
exactly. Bringing in Miles Garrett to the Rams, Super Bowl
And
bound.
Aaron Donald potentially coming back.
Oh, we're gonna record a podcast on that soon. If you
Is,
want to hear my
is,
thoughts,
is Aaron Donald, does he want ring number
is the
two?
GOAT coming back? And not John Cena. We're talking about the real GOAT here of football. Aaron
The
Donald,
Rams
maybe.
goat.
The GOAT of the NFL. That's Tom
The
Brady.
Rams goat.
The Rams GOAT, exactly. But all right.
Well, yeah, so make sure you guys tune in to the LA Sports Roundup, and you
Exactly.
could listen to Mike. Who knows? You may never know who pops in. I might pop in another time, so
See. Exactly.
we shall
But all
see.
right.
But again, yeah, thank you guys for tuning in and watching. We wouldn't be here without you. We keep doing this for
Hmm.
you. And again, like Mike said, follow social. But if there's anything you guys want us to talk about, if you have any questions you want us to answer, you could shoot us an email at laceemuptakes@gmail.com.
Absolutely. Exactly. But all right. Thank you
Right?
guys.
Did I get the email right?
You did. You did. Yeah.
All right. Wasn't too sure. But all right, we will see you guys next time. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Until next time. See you.